Hello everyone, welcome to Object Oriented Programming through C++. Today we are discussing on operators and expressions. So what is an operator? It is a symbol which represents a particular operation that can be performed on data. So an operand is the object on which an operation is performed. So when we combine these operator and operand, we can form an expression. So expression is a sequence of operands and operators that reduce to a single value. So programs use data stored in variables and perform different type of operations on that. So the data on which these operations are performed are known as operands, and the type of the operations performed on them are known as operators. So in example, let us take z asterisk y. This is an expression. So in this, the asterisk is the symbol which is an operator, and z and y are the operands. Next, coming to the categories of operators. Basically we have three major types: unary, binary and ternary. Unary means they operate on single operand. Binary works on two operands and ternary works on three operands. Coming to the types of operators. Here we have arithmetic, relational, logical, assignment, special, conditional and some shorthands. So arithmetic operation involving only real operands or integer operands, and we call them as real arithmetic or integer arithmetic operator. So it is combination of arithmetic and real. So that is why they are mixed mode arithmetic. So here we can have unary arithmetic or binary. The major operators are addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and modulo. Modulo is used to obtain the remainder of a value. Relational are comparison operators. Logical we'll see them in detail one by one. So these operators are used to perform simple calculations, arithmetic operators, and they are binary in nature. Sometimes we can also make it an unary operator. So in this example, here we have a simple program. So as we discussed in our previous video, the structure of C program, it should start with C++, it should start with header file hash include iostream.h, then followed by the main function. Here this is simple program, so there is no requirement of class and object concepts. We are supposed to perform arithmetic calculations on two variables. So those two values are given here, variables are declared here. Then cout is used to print any content that is enclosed within double quotes, followed by the extraction operator, which is display in the operator. In cout expression itself we can evaluate the expression such as a plus b, a minus b and so on. So finally our output are whatever we have given inside the quotes will be displayed, followed by the evaluation of expression. So for addition a plus b it is 60. For subtraction 40 minus 20 is 20. For product 40 into 20 is 800 and division 40 divided by 20 is 2. This is our output. So the things that we should remember while doing this arithmetic operators are they are all used with all data types, and the division operator does integer division only. This means we divide 45 by 6, then the answer will be 7 and will not get the decimal value. So this is because the slash operator discards the decimal part after the division. So to get the accurate answer we must use float data type to get the total value. Another way to get accurate result is to store the numbers in float variables. Regarding modulus operator, this is the percentage sign is used here to give, which gives the remainder of division. So the remainder is when we divide 25 by 2, our quotient is 12 and remainder is 1. So always this, when we use this modulus operator, it will give us the remainder as integers. If we are trying to divide a smaller value with a larger value, our remainder is the smaller value itself. Then arithmetic operators on char data. So we can use only addition and subtraction with variables of char data type. This is possible because data character is a symbol that is stored as an integer value which will take the ASCII code of that character. For capital A it is 65. Similarly for small a it is 97. So and so on. So when we try to add or perform arithmetic or addition on those characters, based on the ASCII code, the evaluation will be done. That is, addition takes place. Arithmetic operators and char data. In this, we have one example, say CH equal to A. So, as we discussed that ASCII value of capital A is 65. When we try to increment and display the value, it gives the, when you add 65, 1 to 65, it will become 66. But as we have declared the variable data type as character, our output also will be of char data type. So instead of 66, the char value, equivalent char value will be displayed, which is capital B. Next, coming to relational operators. So we often compare two quantities, and depending on their relation, we take certain decisions. For that comparison, we use relational operators. So they are binary in nature. Here we have greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to and not equal to symbols. So they return Boolean output, that is either true or false. So we have taken an example of A equal to 9 and B equal to 8. When we apply the relational operators here, the output will be here. First one, A is greater than B. 9 is greater than 8. So it returns true. Next one, 9 is greater than equal to 8. Either of the thing is true, so it returns true. Next, 9 equal to 8 is false, so our output is 0. Then 9, A not equal to B, again it is true. A greater than 2 condition is true. In the next case, 9 equal to 9, so it is true for first two things. For the third comparison it is false, and for the fourth one also it is false. So let us see one example for using relational operators. Hash include iostream dot h. Here if you could see, we have defined certain values for A to F. NDL is used to go for a new line. So for the output for the first one is A greater than B, that is the value of A is 2, B is 1. So 2 is greater than 1, so the output is 1, which is true. Next, B greater than C, that means 1 greater than 4, which is false, so output is 0. Next, D less than equal to E. The value of D is 6, value of E is 9. So 6 is less than equal to 9, which is true. So output is 1. Next, the value of E is 9, F is 6, minus 6. So 9 not equal to minus 6. So this is also true, so it returns 1. Next, final one, C is 4, which is greater than equal to 2. This is also true, so it returns 1. Then A equal to D. The value of A is 2, D is 6, but they are not equal, so it returns 0. Next, coming to logical operators. So a piece of data is called logical if it conveys the idea of true or false. So in C++ we use int data type to represent logical data, and if the data value is 0, it is considered as false. If it is non-zero, it is considered as true. C++ has 3 logical operators for combining logical values and creating new logical values. So they are and logical or and not, logical not. So the first two are binary in nature and the other one is unary. So the output will be like, the working will be like based on the logical AND gate. If both the input are 0, output remains 0. for AND, logical AND. If either of the input is 1, then the output will be 1 for logical OR. Whereas in logical NOT, it is vice versa. If 0, the output will be 1. For 1, the output will be 0. So here 15 and 7. In our first expression, 15 is greater than 7. It is true. Y is greater than 6. Y, the value of y is 7. So condition 1 is true in the first expression. Then the second condition, that is y greater than 6, that is 7 greater than 6, that is also true. So both are true, so our output also true. In the second case, the value of x is 15. 15 greater than 7. So first condition is true. The second condition is 7 not equal to 4, which is true, which is also true. So both are true, so the output is true. Next, x less than 7, that is 15 less than 7. So the first expression is false. Second one, y equal to 4, that is 7 equal to 4, which is also we have assigned the value as 4, so it is also true. So condition output is true. Last one, 15 less than 7, condition false. Next, y greater than 7, that is also false. If both are false, then our output is also false. So this is for logical OR. If either of the output is true, we will get true. But if both are false, the output remains 0. Whereas for logical AND, if both are true, only then our output is also true. For all other cases, it remains false. So in the first case, first condition and second condition both are true, so we got true output. In the second case, 15 is greater than 7, it is true, and 7 not equal to 4. So that is also false. So if you see that if both the expression evaluated to be true, our output is true. Then working of NOT. So NOT of x greater than y. Actually x is greater than y, which is true. But NOT of true will be false. So whatever we get, that will be inversed in the case of NOT operator. Next, coming to assignment operator. So the assignment operator evaluates the operand on the right hand side of the operator and places its value in the variable on the left. So the value 20 is assigned to variable x. So variable is always on the left hand side and the value on the right hand side. The value can be another variable or an expression. So a equal to b means the value stored in b is assigned to a. Similarly, for p, q and r are summed and their output is stored in p. In this we have the left operand in an assignment operator must be a single variable, and there are two forms of assignment. One is simple assignment and compound assignment. So this is a simple assignment statement. Here we have compound assignment statement. We also refer them as shorthands. So the left side operand must be a variable but not a constant, and left side variable must be able to receive a value of the expression. So if the left operand cannot receive a value, we assign 1 to it and we get a compile error. So this a plus equal to b can be written as a equal to a plus b. Similarly for all other expressions. So the advantage of using this shorthand assignment operator is whatever appears on the left hand side need not be repeated, and therefore it becomes easier to write. Then the statement is more concise and easier to read, and the statement will become more effective. Next, coming to increment and decrement operators. So the plus adds 1 to its operand, whereas the operator minus subtracts 1 from its operand. So these are unary operators and they take the following forms, that is a plus 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 a. Similarly a minus 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 a. So both the increment and decrement operators may either precede or follow the operand. This is the rule. So postfix increment or decrement, in that is the second one. A, variable plus plus and variable minus minus. In postfix increment or decrement, the value is incremented by 1. Thus the A plus plus has the same effect as A equal to A plus 1. And A minus minus will have the same effect as A equal to A minus 1. The difference between A plus plus and A plus 1 is, if plus plus is after the operand, the increment takes place after the expression is evaluated. So the operand in a postfix expression must be a variable. For example, if you take 6 plus plus, this is a error because constant cannot be changed. But we should always combine this with an variable. So x equal to minus minus 9, which is also wrong. We should use the term plus plus variable or variable plus plus. So in the first case, if you see a plus 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 x, p equal to minus minus q, t minus minus, this works well. So similarly, in prefix decrement or increment, the effect takes place before the expression that contains the operator is evaluated. It is the reverse of postfix operation, that is plus plus a has the same effect as a equal to a plus 1. But both similarly for decrement, minus minus a has the same effect as a equal to a minus 1. But in this case, the first thing is it will be incremented or decremented, then the expression will be evaluated. So both are written as this. We can see the difference here. Int a comma b, a equal to 3, then b equal to plus plus a. So plus plus a is pre-increment. So first it will increment and then assign. So first itself incrementing means 3 will become 4 and that 4 is assigned to b, because our expression will be written as b equal to b plus a. So the output is 4 comma 4. When we print a, 4, because the value of the variable is a is incremented first and the new value is assigned to b. Thus both a and b will become 4 because in memory it will be reflected. Whereas in post increment or decrement, first increment or decrement is carried out before the rest of the expression. So the value of the variable a is assigned to b and then it is incremented. So here if you see a plus plus, it is incremented, but that is done after the assignment. So b will remain as such, only a will get updated. So in this example, if we see a, we have assigned some values, d equal to a minus minus plus b plus plus minus plus plus c. So when we evaluate this, a minus minus means it will become minus 1, b plus plus means it will be 3, plus plus c means it is 5. When you evaluate them, the values are like 5 plus 5 7 will be the output, because minus 1 plus 3 is 2, then plus 5 is 7. So that it will be evaluated in that way and our output remains 7. Next, coming to ternary operator. We can also call this as conditional operator. So this requires two operands to operate. It evaluates the condition and depending on the condition, if true statement is there, expression 2 will be evaluated. If false is evaluated, then expression 3 will be evaluated. So always expression 1 will be the condition. If it is true, expression 2 is the true part. If it is false, expression 3 is the false part. So this is how here it works. In this program, as we know, hash include iostream.h, then followed by our main program. Then int is the data type, and we have declared two variables here. Enter two numbers. Using cout, we can represent the anything inside the double quotes. So enter two numbers. Then cin a b, which is used to accept value from the user during runtime. Then we are just evaluating one condition, say a greater than b question mark. If that is true, cout a, which means print a. If that is false, after call and whatever comes will be the false part. So that is cout b. So our output is, we are entering any value. For example, here 24 and 22 are given. So is 24 greater than 22? Of course it is true. So cout a will be evaluated. Expression 2 will be evaluated. So the larger number is 24 is displayed. Next, in this case, here again the expression 1 is evaluated. If it returns true, large value, instead of writing the expression inside that function condition ternary operators, along with ternary operators, we have assigned it to a variable, and that variable is displayed finally. The same program, previous program, is illustrated in another manner. So in this case, when true part is there, a large value is assigned with a. When false is evaluated, b is assigned with a large value. That is the false part, and that is displayed during the final execution. So this can also be used to choose which variable to assign a value to. So we have three different variables here: score 1, score 2, and bonus points. We are getting two inputs from the user, score 1 and score 2. Bonus points are displayed as score 1 into score 2. So the condition is if score 1 is greater than score 2, then true part is score 1, false part is score 2. That is assigned to the final variable, that is bonus point. So 8 and 9. When you compare, false. So also we are performing the multiplication. So we are getting 72 as output. So for next, precedence of operators. So this is very important when we go through these operators and expressions. We know that a++ is postfix, increment or decrement. So this will be evaluated from left to right. Whereas when you go for pre-increments, it will be evaluated from right to left. So this precedence is important so that we can prioritize which operators to evaluate first in an expression. Coming to expressions, we are based on operators, and we have basically four things: arithmetic, relational, logical, and conditional. So each of this is an expression. It's coming to type conversion. This is very important, because whenever we need to convert our data value, we can change their type. So if we want our value to be changed from one format to another format, then we can use this type conversion. So variable data type conversion takes place automatically in the case of implicit conversion, and otherwise explicit conversion means we have to do it manually with some keywords. That is explicit conversion or typecasting. So here we have int value of a equal to 9 and float value of y and x. When we try to multiply them, a is an integer value and x is an float value. When we try to multiply them, by default the larger data type will be taken, that is float value will be returned as output. So basically it is converted to float and then multiplied. The smaller data types are all implicitly converted to higher data type values, which is known as type promotion. So the order of conversion is char will be converted to integer if int and char are multiplied. Then int and long int are multiplied means output will be in long int. If long int and float are multiplied, then output will be in float type. Similar way. So the longest of all is long double. The smallest one is char. So as it increases in this ladder, the higher ones are displayed as output when two different data types are multiplied. So typecasting is when we make a variable one data type that has to behave in another format. Here this is explicit typecasting. So we have declared char ch equal to a. So which is the char data type. But in the output, when we precede it with some data type inside the bracket, we can perform the typecasting. So int of ch means we will get the integer equivalent value of a, that is 65 as per the ASCII code. So this is called explicit type conversion. Now the char ch is converted to integer. Similarly here x equal to 90, but we want it in char format. So the value of 90 is x. So we are getting the output as capital X. Because the value differs for capital X and small x, the values are different. But whenever a variable of higher data type is converted to lower data type, there is some loss of value. So if we convert float to integer, the decimal part will be discarded. This will be the loss. One more example of typecasting. Here we have x, y, z and d. The value of x is 97. Now when you perform y equal to plus plus x, it will become 98. Z equal to plus plus y. So the value of y is already 98. Now the value of z will be 99. So similarly, when you try to display them with char representation itself, because initially it was integer, now you are displaying them in char data type. So the value of 97 is a. As per ASCII code, the value of 97 is small a, small case a. So when y is incremented, we are getting next value because it is in pre-incrementation. So first it will become 98. So 98 is small b. Similarly for the other values, from b consecutively the values are increased and we are getting the output. The next example, char x and y are given, x equal to capital A and y equal to star. So the representation is like int of x. Int of x is, as we know, it is capital value of a is 65. So 65 is displayed. Similarly int of y. So for symbols also we do have some values and that value is displayed here. Thank you.